Hello, everyone. This is Baka Bites, a show where we talk about all things anime and manga, from news to previews and all of our idiotic views. My name is Magically Average, and with me is my co-host, the forever fast asleep Frankfurter. Today, we are going to go over all of our fall anime mid-season reviews and highlight the amazing achievements of Gundam. But before that, Frankie Poo, how are you doing, bud?
My last brain cell's rubbing up against the side wall of my brain trying to generate some electricity to fucking be a human being.
And that's all we need to know. All right, now to
Moving
news
on.
story number one.
I'm going into this blind. I don't know what the fuck we're doing today. That's why
Yeah.
he's hosting. I'm not.
For all you know, I could have made up the fact that I actually wrote out a script and I could just be ad-libbing everything. So this is just going to be a hoot and a hanny. So here we go.
You mean a
The
hootenanny?
U.S. Yeah, whatever. It's a hoot and a banani. It's whatever you want it to
I
feel
like
like. All right.
bananas better. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, I like
US what?
a hoot and a banani. The U.S. actually did something good,
Oh?
and surprisingly enough, it's about books.
Oh?
I know. Who would have thunk? So back in November 2020, Penguin Random House was in the works to purchase Simon and Schuster, who you don't have to know who they are. Basically, they're just a publishing company. But the acquisition is going to be for $2.175 billion, basically the amount that the Powerball just was that someone hit in California. Screw you, whoever hit it, unless you listen to the podcast, in which case, donation. The
Never in a
transaction
million
was
years.
slated. No, not going to happen. That transaction was slated to close in 2021. The two companies were going to continue to operate separately after the acquisition went through, so nothing was going to change. But Penguin Random House was going to have like a new publishing company for a lot of the U.S. market for manga and other light novel publications. However, this is where the U.S. stepped in and was like, not today, son. The U.S. Justice Department, at the request of the American Booksellers Association, filed a lawsuit a year after the initial acquisition was supposed to happen, seeking to block the acquisition by Penguin Random House due to antitrust concerns. Basically, the U.S. and the American Booksellers Association were like, this would almost monopolize the American market for a lot of publications by this manufacturer. Because in case you didn't know, Penguin Random House publisher services clients include Seven Seas, Kodansha, Square Enix, and Dark Horse. And then, oh, by the way, Simon and Schuster, they distribute all of Viz Media in North America. So seems to me that Penguin Random House would have had a bit of a stranglehold over the U.S. market for a lot of the manga and light novels. But anyway, Penguin Random House, though, in court argued that the proposed merger would in fact do the opposite. Yeah, fat chance that was going to do that. Of what the
Yes,
U.S.
we are going to acquire things and it is going to make more competition. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. That is
yeah.
how that
What do you
works.
mean? That's basically what they said. They're like, no. It's not going to dilute the market and allow us to basically control it by majority share. Completely the opposite. What it's going to do, it's going to benefit our authors because we have all of the fucking licenses. So this is going to be great for them. And it's going to promote competition in the market by bringing, and I quote, enhanced distribution capacity to a greater number of authors, including those under Simon and Schuster. No shit, but whatever. Thankfully, though, a federal judge saw through the lawyer's bullshit, and I can say that because I am a lawyer too, and I know that we spew bullshit a lot. And
Look
this
at
is in
me. I'm
fact,
magically average. I'm a lawyer.
this is
Woo, woo, woo,
this is
woo.
in fact a lot of bullshit. Listen, I need to flex it every now and again because I don't actually practice. So whenever I get the chance, I just got to do a
It's
little drop, a
it's
little
just a
plug.
bunch of word salad is all it was.
Yeah, basically.
Corporate word salad or lawyer word salad.
And that judge saw right through it, instead ruled against Penguin Random House, but basically just told the two parties to meet and discuss and try to figure out a different manner of the acquisition, whether it's a different share of their clients or how it's going to, I guess, overall impact the North American market for manga and light novels. But yeah, this was never going to be in their favor. I honestly didn't even realize that Penguin Random House had Seven Seas, Kodansha, Square Enix, and Dark Horse. Like
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I didn't know either. Like honestly, like I always think I was like, oh yeah, these are different publishers. It's fine. I'm like supporting different businesses, and then you don't realize that they share the same fucking parent company everywhere.
Yeah.
Every fucking
Yeah.
where. Go look up like your favorite snack company. Go look up PepsiCo. Go look up PepsiCo and be surprised by how much they fucking own. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot.
There's
It is a shit ton.
what was the other brand where I couldn't fathom the amount of like snacks that they owned. It wasn't like Frito-Lays. It was something similar where I was
Spoiler
just like,
alert: PepsiCo owns Frito-Lay.
yeah, I know. There's like all that too, where you're like, it's like one company, and you're like, that's a large company, and then they're like, just kidding, that's just a smaller company to this giant company. That this giant company is a part of a conglomerate. That's this conglomerate's a part of the overlord that rules the outer space. You're like, Jesus, like how high up is it gonna go?
And then it goes
But
to Einzun Gold.
yeah, Eins Ulgaun,
Oh,
who
whatever.
rules above them all. So thankfully, the U.S. is safe for another day, and all your books can remain safe on the shelves, and authors aren't going to be starving in the streets. So thank you, U.S. Department of Justice, for doing one right thing for books.
Yay.
Small,
Yeah,
small
there's
applause.
there's there's not really much more I can add to this. I mean, I didn't know that so many different publishers actually were under one umbrella, which I think is stupid that they haven't like morphed them into one.
Yeah.
Because if the one thing that absolutely fucking grinds my goddamn gears when it comes to
Oh boy.
manga is the goddamn difference in book sizes and shit like that. Do you know how many fucking different book sizes I have from just like different series, but all under either A, under the same publisher, or B, under the different publisher? Viz Media has at least like 2 or 3 different sizes, which is stupid as shit. Seven Seas is pretty on point. And then you have like no Seven Seas. They have a tall and a
Oh
small
yeah, I was
book.
gonna say Seven Seas is kind of all over the
Yeah,
place from what I remember.
Square Enix is far and by far the absolute
Yeah.
worst. Like, if you okay. Side note: Square Enix is doing all of the Soul Eater like perfect editions. They're hardcover. They're great. They're very nice. You put them on your
Beautiful.
shelf. You're like, they're all the same height. They look perfect together. And then you look at the spines, and every fucking printing on the spine is like up and down like a goddamn hill in San Francisco. It's the fucking worst. Nothing
Yeah.
makes sense. It just looks like an unorganized mess, even though they're all the same height. Get it together. Why? How? It's not that hard. It really shouldn't be that hard. What the fuck? Anywho, yeah. Fucking, if you're, like, please, for the love of God, manga, get it together. Fucking make your books the same sizes so it all fits on the same fucking bookshelf. End rant.
Moral,
And
moral of the
scene.
story. Moral of the story, kids: don't read books, just watch anime. Moving on.
Or
News
read
story number
online.
2. Yeah, online works too. There is only one, and they're making more manga.
What?
So the manga creator One and artist Kyotaro Azuma are launching a new manga titled Verses in the December issue of Kodansha's Shonen Serious magazine, which is releasing on November 26th. We talked about this before, how it's like the December volume releasing in November. Like, huh?
Yeah, I think that's super weird, but you know what? To each
Yeah.
their own.
Well, I think it's partly because there's monthly magazine releases, and then there's also the weekly series too. So it's always kind of weird and screwy, but whatever. But there's a new series coming out entitled Verses. Author One is best known for One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100, and this will be One's first new manga series in 10 years, believe it or not.
Diggity fuck.
Yeah, the most recent was, in fact, Mob Psycho 100, which was launched back in 2012. Did not know that. That is a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of forget with how quickly some like anime series comes out that like the source material could be very, very old. Well, not very, very old per se, but like, it could date a couple years back.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
like,
true.
it's not like series today where it's like, ooh, Spy Family, we have a couple volumes out and the first season of the anime is out as well. So,
yeah, like to be fair, there's a show coming out next season. Yeah, in winter 2023, Tomo-chan is a girl, which I'm looking forward to. But it started in 2015 and ended in 2019. Like,
yeah.
it's an older book series, technically speaking, I guess. I mean, it's within the last 10 years, but still, it's like, it's almost 10 years. We're 8 years
Yeah,
off. So, I
it's
mean,
getting close.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird to
and
think that
I'm
Mob Psycho's over a decade old.
yeah, and don't even get us started on serializations in Japan that have yet to make their way to the U.S. That's a whole other thing. But anyway,
Too many.
yeah. So Versus is set in a fantasy world where humans have been invaded and oppressed by their natural enemies, demons.
Egad.
I know. Some new stuff happening over here from one. To combat this evil, the humans have assembled a coalition of heroes to battle against the demons, all for the sake of humanity's survival. I'll say from the cover art, looks interesting. Stylistically, it kind of reminds me of, um, God, not Dragon. It might actually be Dragon Quest. It's got a really unique design. Kyotaro Azuma, who's the artist on it, wasn't familiar with their other work, but it looks cool. I mean, just from the art style itself. Gotta say the fantasy realm, but having a coalition of heroes kind of is making me think of another series. Cough, cough, One Punch Man, cough, cough.
I think this
But
is the. I brought it up on the B-roll screen, but I think this is what the cover of the art is, if I'm not mistaken. Where it's just
it's
like
like
the two guides coming at each other with blades, and they're all kind of like smiling and almost kissing each other because they're so close. I don't know.
perfect. That's exactly what I want.
I don't know. I think this is the right tweet, but
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like
So
Dragon Ball Z-ish with a bit of Inuyasha with a
yeah,
side touch of Demon Slayer. It's fine.
it 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 harkens to like an older. I shouldn't say older, like 1990s ish, early 2000s style, which I find kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be interested to read it once it's translated, but just because I thoroughly enjoy One Punch Man and I am slowly making my way through Mob Psycho 100. So
Ooh.
what they've been, I know. Well, one's works I've enjoyed in the past, so I'm sure I'll like this one too. But um, who knows? It's just I was hopeful that there would be some very distinct differences between the other two because like One Punch Man, it's like it's about a hero that destroys everything in a single punch, and it's a lot of like comedy but also pretty great action stuff too. And then Mob Psycho 100 is an incredibly unique show, and art style alone too is very bespoke too. It stands out against a lot of other anime. But Versus just on its face seems kind of vanilla-ish. So I'm wondering what angle he's going to incorporate to make it feel, like a new idea rather than just like let's just throw One Punch Man in fantasy realm. See
Yeah,
how that works.
fair enough. Yeah.
So
One Punch Man, I lost it after season 2. I hear that the manga is really good, and I've seen panels of the later stuff, which I know I'm just like spoiling shit for myself, but like from what the panels I've seen is really fucking cool. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's really cool. So it's just like, you know what? Art's pretty. Let's see if they can actually make a story behind it that isn't just, a little gimmicky and then just playing on the same gimmick over and over and over again.
yeah, but we
But
will have to see over here for those of you in Japan. Have fun with it. It comes out on November 26th. Moving on to what is presumably going to be our longest segment of this show, we have our mid-season review. So we are
yay, woo!
halfway.
We're like
We
semi
are.
halfway.
Yeah. Well, we're into week eight.
We're technically in week 6, but most shows
Oh,
are on episode 5.
well, I mean, they're scattered. Some shows are like five or some shows are 5. Some shows I think are 7 too. But well, that's just because everything comes out at different times nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are close about to the halfway point of the fall season. So in light of this, we are going to go through some of the anime we're watching, give our takes, our hot spicy takes, and give some good little banter back and forth because I know we're probably in line for the most part
I was gonna say
with
there's not gonna
our
be a lot of banter because I feel like we're pretty aligned with what we've watched.
yeah.
Um, I Yeah, I'm gonna
All
start
right.
us
Well,
off. Let's talk about what's on High Dive, because
all
High
right.
Dive is actually the one site that has yet to really hold me over. There's really just one show that I've consistently been watching week to week to week, and that's Reincarnated as a Sword. I said don't sleep on this show, and it's fucking great. This is the epitome of turn your fucking brain off and just watch numbers go up in a video game. Like this show, it's entertaining. The characters are cute. The comedy hits. It's not overtly like it's over the top to the point where it knows that it's being a parody. That's something that I enjoy about this show. It's the only show on High Dive that's actually kind of held me over. I know you and I watched the first episode. My Master Has No Tail, which
Yep.
I thought was cute. I thought it was adorable. I just never felt myself in the mood to go revisit it. I don't like I do want to watch it because I really did enjoy what I watched, but like nothing compelled me to go back. Um
Yeah.
The Eminence in Shadow, I watched episode 1, and it, I'm sure it gets better, but episode 1 was just so fucking stupid in my opinion that I was just like, no, I'm good. I don't need to see another fucking minute of this show. Like this show was pitched as, oh, man with a harem, and he's like, oh, this is the bad guy. Like he's making up the bad guy, but there's actually a bad guy, and he's telling the truth, but he doesn't know it. And the first episode is like him in normal Japan and protecting a girl who got kidnapped and like saving her, and then he dies by getting hit by fucking Truck-kun or some shit like that. And it's like, what the fuck?
Damn Truck-kun.
Like what? No. If you were going to do an episode 1 like that, give me 60 minutes. Give me the 45-minute episode where you set the like tone of that first episode like that, and then you continue the episode of here's what the show actually is. But you're just sending me like through episode 1 where he does all this amazing stuff in the human world, and then he just gets fucking hit by a truck or whatever it is, however he dies, and that's it. Like the episode just fucking ends. Like it shows like a tease of him with his harem, and that's it. And it's just like, what the fuck? What did I just
Yeah.
watch? No, I'm good. I don't need to watch another fucking minute of that show. And then the two other shows that I actually watched on High Dive, Love Flops. I watched episode 1. I do want to continue watching it because it's just so fucking over the top and stupid. That is just like, you know what? I'm in the mood for a dumb show like this, but I'm not in the mood to watch a dumb show like this in front of my partner, because literally within the
Yeah.
first like 2 minutes, just good old coochie to the face.
Oh yeah.
Just
No, it was like
right
it
to
was
the
an
face.
ass.
Just
It was a
right to the
full
face.
on.
Full on
It
butthole
was
to the face.
yeah. I was gonna say it wasn't so much like coochie to the face. It was like she got launched out of a cannon, vagina first, and then
Like the world's
just
strongest magnet were in both her butthole and his face.
yeah, and
Like
then just
he had a nose made of steel.
slid right across his face, and then with the power of her ass, slammed him into the ground.
Like
He
a hot dog
became
down a
one.
hallway.
He became one with that entire region of hers. Like he melded into that area entirely.
And with
It
that, I
was
was like, you know
fantastic.
what? I'm in. But like
Yeah.
not you know what, not in front of my partner. We'll watch this eventually. And then the last show, Urushi Yatsura, the basically the 80s show that they brought back. I
Yeah.
enjoyed episode 1, but it was a lot more. I guess I shouldn't really be surprised because it's based off 80s anime slash manga. I guess even earlier manga. Show's horny as hell. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I should have known, because the fucking front cover is this beautiful blue babe and just the fucking, you know, teensy
Leopard print.
weensy leopard print bikini. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
I should have known. I should have known what I got myself into. But what I watched was really smooth. Like for like updating an 80s anime, like it was really fucking cool to see. Like I don't want this to be a trend, but like depending on the show, like that, you know, it's fine. But like I don't want this to be a trend, but like I actually really enjoyed it. But again, it was just like, you know what? Love Flops hit the spot more than this did, but I did appreciate and I did enjoy what I watched for episode 1. But It's just one of those things that nothing on High Dive has really made me want to come back like for more, except for Reincarnated as a Sword. I don't know. What are your thoughts on these? Plus, if you've watched, the other shows that are on here, like
Yeah,
fucking what is it?
Uzaki.
Uzaki's not this season, is it?
Oh no, Uzaki's on Crunchyroll. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, the
What
other
else do I
shows
have?
airing on High Dive are Bibliophile, Princess Akiba, Maid War,
No, I'm not watching anything.
Doomsday with my dog. I've gotten stronger from farm related skills. Peter
No,
Grill.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I have not really watched a lot of this season's shows so far. It like I watched the first week or two, and I've slowly but surely fell behind uh as the weeks have gone on. Work has been a little chaotic, home life's been a little chaotic. But to that point though, I will say that the shows that I kind of go back to, similar to how you keep going back to Reincarnated as a Sword, because it drew you in and it's got that kind of factor that's continuously you're finding the time to watch it, whereas the other
Mm-hmm.
ones you're kind of making the time to watch it.
Yeah.
I've been in that boat too. Just my sample size is quite small in that it's really just for me right now. Two shows on Crunchyroll, which are Bochi the Rock and Do It Yourself. Those are like
Not even Chainsaw Man.
well, Chainsaw Man and My Hero are exceptions because and Spy Family. Those are exceptions because I watch those with my wife. So like those are our shows that we'll watch together whenever we're both able to, mostly before bed.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I'm behind on Bleach, I'm behind on Reincarnated, Uzaki, Blue Lock. I haven't even started More Than a Married Couple. I haven't started Urusei. Behind on Love Flops. Behind on My Master Has No Tail. Like I want to watch all of those, but I think because of my mental state week to week, the shows I really want to watch are Bochi the Rock and Do It Yourself, because they are so goddamn fun and they're so adorable and they're so relaxing, and it's nice after a very long, stressful, hectic day, week, whatever, to
Yeah.
come back home and be like, yes, I would love to see these girls go to their DIY club and make goofy things and have fun adventures together. Or, yeah, I want to see the supremely awkward introvert girl try to make it as a rock star, because that's just the perfect amount of comedy I need in my life. Like, those are the shows that I've been watching. Granted, I've loved every single show I've watched except for one. And I think we're both in the same boat for the one. But
Which one?
I haven't been able to find the time. Oh, you know, the one that we watched together and got 2 minutes in and immediately stopped.
I forgot that was even a fucking thing. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
I did.
the
I did too until I
crazy
looked the
crazy
Human Crazy
university.
University.
Yeah, that was fucking
Yeah,
stupid. Okay,
I forgot.
you called how I called how dumb that show was gonna be, and you called how bad Four Little Lies We All Tell was gonna be. Uh, I've
Oh
got
yeah,
I've got a couple stinkers for this season. The Four Little Lies is probably the biggest disappointment because it just had such a weird and like bizarre kind of premise. I was, you know what, this might actually be good. If they could, pull off the humor, this will be good. It's literally just like skit humor of just like, oh, I'm an alien. Oh, I said something wrong. Oh no, don't catch on. Oh, how do I get myself out of this situation? And then somebody else does something
yeah.
to like put themselves out there in another situation. And it's just like, no, it's the
It
comedy
had
didn't hit.
it had that vibe even in the trailer, which is why I made that prediction too, where
I
it was
didn't want
like,
to believe it. I knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't want to
oh
believe it. I
no,
didn't want
I
to
mean,
believe it.
it's fair, it's understandable. Like I'd be in the same boat. Like if you find something you're like, oh, this looks cool, and then someone like the other perspective comes in, it's like, here's where it's gonna be bad. You just kind of want to go la 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 la. I'm not listening to you, and make up your own like opinions once you finally watch it. Like I get that,
Yeah.
but it was just like it seemed like one of those shows where they're like, four people with different backgrounds live in the same house. What could happen? Find out next week on Crazy Dormitory of Four Delinquents. Like it had that sort of weird premise of all these characters have such crazy like characteristics about them. Like it's not even personalities. It's not even like this girl
It's just backgrounds.
is
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's and they're not even something that you could kind of put
Off
together
the
and be like,
wall.
oh yeah, no, they are off the wall, right? It's like one girl is uh
She's
part
a
of Hitler's army. One
no.
one
So
girl.
no. So she's actually a colonel in an alien army that like crash landed on
Oh,
Earth.
okay, so she's the alien too.
So
Okay,
she's an alien, but she's like part of an alien army, and she crash landed on Earth, and she's trying to blend in.
but then isn't one of them just like a boy who's
Yeah, one of them's literally
misjudged
just a
as a
dude.
girl? Like, yeah, so it's like one is an intergalactic space army person. This one's just a boy
Oh,
who's actually
so so yeah.
everyone thinks they're a girl.
So here are the four people. The one
Yeah, yeah.
the alien also to blend in decides to like study up on human like language and everything else, but they study it from the 80s, so they're always saying out of fucking touch like phrases and people look at them weird. The boy is
That's
just
the
a boy.
humor, bud.
Yeah,
Ha ha ha
the boy's just a boy, and they're at an all girls school. Ooh, and
ha.
then you have literally a ninja who's like the head of the clan or next to inherit the clan, but she doesn't want to inherit the clan, so she's trying to live a normal life, and the clan is like disbanded or not disbanded, but just said fuck you, we don't want you to do that, so they're sending assassins after her. And then I don't even remember what the fucking last one is. Like it just was skit humor and it wasn't the greatest and it just was disappointing. The other show that really to me that you know what I actually had hopes for because I know that people love the game. We've had a lot of great game adaptations. Arknights. Arc
Oh yes.
Arknights the anime, Arknights Prelude to Dawn. I watched episode 1, wasn't a fan. So because of the show, I downloaded the game to see if the story, like the first episode, was the same story. It's
Mhm.
literally the same story. Like the thing that was so off-putting about the show is that it was literally just the story from the game. It was like almost as self-inserting into the show as it was the game. Like because in the game
Huh.
you are a doctor and you rename the doctor or whatever your name is, and then in this show they're just called the doctor, but like they present it in a way that feels so self-inserting that it's just like this feels weird and not good. The animation is pretty. I like the animation, but there's only so much animation can do.
All right.
So just yeah, it was just really fucking weird with this, like, cause like you want to self-insert yourself into this world and being like, I believe, like in the sense of like this world is believable. I feel like this world is lived in. I feel like this story draws me in because of that.
Mhm.
I don't want a story that is literally like, you are this character, you are the main character, this is you, yada yada yada. It's like no no no. I want to feel like I'm a traveler. I don't want to feel like I am this person.
Yeah.
So it to me, Arknights was just a huge letdown,
And
despite
I'm
how pretty
wondering
it was.
I'm wondering if that's a common fear for a lot of fans of Nier Automata too, because I know that's an anime that a lot of people are getting the hype on early
I think
because the game's interesting, right? It has a really interesting plot line. It's got a very unique world setting too. Obviously, the characters are fantastic in their own ways as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapt the game to anime. Granted,
I think
I've
that one's a
never played
little.
Arknights,
I
so
think that
I
one's a
can't say.
little easier near just for the fact that like the characters are given to you and you're not creating a character really.
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
that that's a little bit of an easier tale to tell than something that is like you are the main character in this story. Yada yada.
Yeah.
Like, what is your name? Yeah, it just to me it was off-putting. But yeah, I will agree that to me my top three currently. I mean, in no particular order because any given week it's like they can take each other over. Chainsaw
Hmm.
Man, Bochi the Rock, which you said, that is literally that show has surprised me so much. It is solidified in my top
It's
three.
it's
And
fantastic.
Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury.
Hmm.
Talk about a fucking phenomenal show. Like any given week, that show is like story wise on par with Chainsaw Man. Like, granted, I know what's gonna happen in Chainsaw Man, but the adaptation is so good that it feels nice to relive it. Like episode 5 came out today and I watched it at lunch. and it's like I knew exactly what was gonna happen, and I still was so psyched for it because this is no spoilers for the manga. This is no spoilers for the anime. Episode 5 is really the turning point for. Oop! I muted myself there on accident. I don't know how.
Wouldn't be a recording if you didn't mute
No,
yourself.
like literally, like the microphone, not like
Oh.
on my keyboard. Like I didn't even touch it. It was weird. Anywho,
That one brain cell's trying to get you to get offline.
dude, that one brain cell is just like
It's fighting hard.
Yeah, but like episode 5 is literally the turning point for the show because the first 4 episodes are here are your characters, here's the world, here's what we present to you. Episode 5 is okay, here's your plot, here's the first arc after introducing what your main objective is. And I'm so stoked. I'm so fucking stoked because I really do love this arc that's coming out. I granted I really like it as a whole, but when you break it down to arcs, this is probably out of like the 6 arcs that they had or so, maybe a few more. This is probably like top 4 for me. I really like this devil that they're doing. I won't say it because it hasn't been, they haven't really announced what the devil's name is, so I'm not going to say what devil it is. But I absolutely love Chainsaw Man. Like, I love the story, but like any given week, Witch from Mercury overtakes that because it's something brand new for me. It's brand new for everybody, if I'm not mistaken. The prologue to the show really sets a tone of like, holy crap, this is not going to be a super happy show. This is kind of a fucked up situation / world. And it ends with a like, oh no, the child is murdering people, but doesn't know that they're murdering people.
Chucky?
They just what?
Chucky. Like
Chucky,
yeah.
But and then it quickly episode 1 goes into like, here is your main character. They are going to school. They've never been off Mercury, the planet Mercury, and just really does a good job of like introducing characters, introducing the world that they're living in currently, and like it gives you action right off the bat. Like they don't hold back. They just like, it's every other episode is just a giant battle, and I love it. It's great. But it's not just a giant battle. Like all these battles are duels, and these duels are like just in school, so nobody's technically dying because it's a overseen duel from the school. Like they'd have a lot of issues, but like these duels you have to wager something for it within the school or within reason. So it's just really fucking good. I'm doing it a disservice of trying to explain it, but it's great. And then you've already mentioned Bochi. Like, imagine if Komi could talk a little bit, made her first few friends, and then they started a band. That's what Bochi is. It's fantastic. I love it. But you nailed it with the Spy Family, My Hero Academia. Their continuations, they're both great. I know what's going to happen in Spy Family. I haven't read up to date for My Hero Academia, so I don't know what's going on there. But I'm really enjoying season 6. The only other show really that I'm watching, I'm an episode behind on Do It Yourself, and I'm an episode behind on Blue Lock. I know you really enjoyed the first episode or 2 of Blue Lock. I really enjoyed the first episode or 2 of Blue Lock. It took me, like, it was like, I don't know what it was about episode 4, but episode 4 was like pulling teeth trying to finish this episode for me. I really my mind wasn't into it, my body wasn't into it. I wanted to do other things, but I was like, I gotta get through this. This was one of those shows that I knew was gonna be really good. I thought was gonna be really good, but like I'm losing interest, and I don't know if it's because of the fact that it's soccer or like I don't know what it is, but this show I'm just if I can figure it out, I'll say it on another podcast. But like after episode 4, I was like, yeah, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna finish by saying my top 3 are Chainsaw Man, Bochi, and Blue Lock. And the only thing I'll talk about with Blue Lock is that it took me by surprise with how they approach the sports anime genre. Because, granted, I haven't watched a lot of sports anime, there's also not a ton to choose from, at least good ones. So
I would argue against that, but okay.
I would say out of the entirety of the sports genre, a majority of them are good. There's a handful that are bad. Remain is one of them.
Hey, don't you talk shit.
But in the entirety like of what encapsulates sports genre, the sports genre, I would say that there are really good sports anime, but they aren't up to par with like what other people would categorize as being like just good anime in general. Um, Blue Lock for me though almost transcended the sports genre because it had like this weird other element to it of being like a death game style ish without obviously the penalty of death. It was just not being able to play soccer for Japan's national team ever in your career, which,
Boo.
to other people, it's like, who cares? But to the kids who, you train your whole life and you play your whole life to one day make it to represent your country, it's like, yeah, that's a huge deal. That is the entirety of what you spent your current lifetime practicing for. So there's that aspect to it, but just I don't know if it's the characters, I don't know if it's the art style, the design, the sound design, like whatever it is about it. I just was so infatuated with it. The first episode, and like it drew me in each and every episode with its suspense, with how they were approaching the death game, how they were gonna make soccer feel interesting in this, what is called the Blue Lock, this basically giant jail cell where they're housing all these high school kids to play against each other to become the striker for Japan's national team. Like, such a cool concept. They're doing a great job with it, in my opinion. I'm really enjoying it. Again, for someone that's not the biggest fan of soccer, I will watch it live. I will rarely ever watch it on TV. Never played it. Was never really a fan of it. I am finding this to be an incredibly enjoyable anime, and I'm just hopeful that it can continue along this road for the first season, because I'm not sure if there's slated to be more. I know there's manga currently being released in the United States for it. I don't know how much is out in Japan, so just kind of a wait and see. But boy, oh boy, has it been such a cool and fun ride so far. But with that, we will move on to what I'm dreading, but what Frank
Oh,
is,
I'm so anticipating this.
the new dates and announcements. Which I don't know if you have the script up in front of you.
No, I don't.
Would you like to know how long it is?
60 bullet points.
It's 3.5 pages. I don't know how many bullet points that is, but it might actually be close to 60.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's on the longer end. I think the longest I've done
Yeah.
is about 2.5.
Yeah. So we missed a lot. We were gone for 2 weeks.
Okay, but even
And a
I
lot had
just only
happened.
do 1 week. Like if we miss a week, I'll still just do Monday to Monday or
Oh no.
whatever.
See, see
Is that
see
where you
folks,
went wrong? Is that where you went
when
wrong? That's
Frankfurter,
where you went
no,
wrong.
where I went wrong, when Frankfurter brings you his show, just know that he is half-assing it apparently. Like, if we are off a week, he will not give you the full previous 2 weeks news and announcements. Mr. Magically Average will, though, for you folks. So let's get right into it. Give
Give
you
it
all
to
the
me,
good
baby.
new dates and announcements. Here we go. All right,
Give
Zero
it to me.
Einen's Goodbye Eden manga has ended. Sad news. Violence Jack 20XX manga ends on November 19th. Flaglia anime musical project announced. Don't know what that means. I don't know if it's going to be a musical anime or if there's a separate musical associated with it, but
If I had to guess, it's probably like an idol project that's also getting like an
most
anime.
likely from what I remember of the source, the quick snippet of it I saw, it did look like something idol related. But anywho, my one of my favorite news of the last 2 weeks, Hokkaido Gals are super adorable manga gets an anime and it's scheduled for a 2023 release. It is fantastic. I am up to date on that. I love it so much. I can't wait to see it as an anime.
God, you did
Tokyo
that
Pop
really quick.
licenses.
If you're up to date.
Oh yeah. Dude, I read so much of it. 83, 4 chapters are out. I blew through that. It's me and my slice of life.
87 as of today.
Oh, sorry. And I did read today's chapter too.
I was gonna say new chapter came out today.
Trust me, I knew. I was like, it's coming out soon. I know it is. I'm excited. If you like a slice of life, if you like gals and gyarus, this one is a lot of fun. So look out for the anime in 2023. Tokyo Pop licenses If My Favorite Pop Idol Made It to the Budokan, I Would Die, as well as 14 other manga titles. I did not have the brain capacity to put all 14 in there, so if you want to know what Tokyo Pop licensed, just go take a look.
Coward.
It says the man who only does 1 week if we miss 2. Anywho, Karage-kun Office Comedy Manga gets first live-action show in January of 2023. Tsutomu Ono launches a new manga in November titled The Elf Grandmaster of the Knightly Order Still Pines for the Life of a Maiden. Not an easy title to read. Gora and King Records unveil new original anime titled Ayaka, A Story of Bonds and Wounds. I know this one's sad for both you and our friend Tim. Birdie Wing Golf Girls Story Anime Season 2 is delayed until April 2023, which
Yeah,
it's
but at the
not
same
delayed
time,
indefinitely. Yeah.
there's so much coming out in January that
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, you know what, that's fine. Give it some time. Let it get some more animation in it.
It very well could have been a strategic move too, but it will be delayed until the spring season of 2023. Crunchyroll will screen the quintessential quintuplets movie in theaters on December 2nd in the US and Canada. Ino Asano's Downfall manga gets live action film on March 17th, 2023. Seven Seas licenses second Lupin the Third manga collection.
Ooh.
Oh, I know. That one's interesting. Suddenly Egyptian God 2 anime to debut in January 2023. No, I don't know if that's the first or second of it. It just says God 2.
I'll look into it.
All right, you do that, sir. An Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride light novels have an anime adaptation in the works. No date yet, just knowing that there will be an anime. Toonami, this one's interesting to me too. Toonami airs Made in Abyss Season 2, which started on November 5th. So if you still watch Toonami, like a lot of folks hopefully do, I should go back and watch Toonami just for nostalgia's sake. Like I feel like it would be fun to just go back and.
That's another show that I forgot I was watching this season, or I watched this season. The first episode of Complex C. I watched that.
Yeah, that's
that was
on Toonami.
really weird.
It was kind of duty though, from what you said.
I was unimpressed, so I was just like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, yes, it is. Suddenly Egyptian God is season 2.
It is season 2. Okay, they just called it Suddenly Egyptian God 2.
I mean, that's like Don Machi. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon 2 or 3 or 4? Like,
that's fair.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll allow
Taku. Okay, it gets the Frankfurter stamp of approval, and that's your stamp noise.
Sounded like a fart.
Taku Kawamura launches a new manga titled Child of Lie in the November issue of Square Enix's Gangan Joker magazine. Guruzeni Natsunosuke no Sujin manga has ended. That's the title. It didn't give me an English title. That's the title.
It's Saishun?
Saishun? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever. I'm still doing it, fucking questioning it.
Yeah, even though you're not saying it, you're still the one that's like, is it? I'm going to just repeat it constantly.
Yep.
The Most Heretical Last Boss Queen from Villainess to Savior novel gets an anime set to release in July 2023. However, the manga has been canceled due to the author's poor health. So, from my understanding that there's a novel, it's currently has a manga serial running and an anime to be released, but the manga has been canceled entirely. So, I'm not sure if there's any volumes out yet in either Japan or in English, but yeah, the manga has been canceled. But there will be an anime in July of 2023, so that's summer 2023.
Will look into it.
Berserk of Gluttony light novel gets an anime. The Demon Girl Next Door manga has gone on hiatus until next year due to the author's health.
There have been 3 volumes of the manga, which all 3 are being released all 3 are released in Japan. The 3rd volume is being released in February in the United States.
Got it. All right. So that's good to know.
Continue.
Well, those are the only manga that will be out for the series. So unfortunately, if you're into it, you have to switch over to light novels or just wait for the anime. Yeah, the Demon Girl Next Door will go on hiatus. The manga will go on hiatus until next year due to the author's health. Again, next year, just meaning that it is already November, so it's only going to be hopefully for a couple of months. But we wish the author a speedy recovery. Gundam Witch from Mercury anime gets a novel adaptation. Yeah. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale anime set to premiere in January 2023. Original TV anime Revenger announces main cast and is set to debut in January of 2023 as well. So add that to the already running list of 35 million shows that are coming out in
Where were
January.
we at? Like 65 minus 1, so 65
We
again,
yeah
some shit like that.
yeah we're at a lot basically. So good boy. A game that I have but have not played yet, but kind of want to now. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin manga adaptation will end next chapter. 10 Count, this is for my wife, which is a BL anime, gets a theatrical release in 2023. Another one for my wife, Sweat and Soap mangaka launches a new manga titled Telework Gossip, which
61
I
shows
know.
next season.
Oh, it's still the fact that it's 61 shows and it's not even like the kids shows too. It's just
Oh,
blows
there are
my
no
mind.
there. I don't. The only kids show included in here is maybe Card Fight Vanguard or this one that looks kind of like chibi-ish, which is called Nijion Animation, which
Okay.
it looks like it's just like based off a 4-panel manga. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
Jeez, next season's gonna be too much. Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill novel gets an anime adaptation and set for January 2023 release. Fun fact about this one: this is Mappa's first ever isekai, so that'll be an enjoyable watch.
I thought Mappa was doing
Servant manga enters its final arc with the 20th volume to be released in spring 2023.
real quick.
If you're
Real
talking,
quick.
sir, you're muted. Yeah,
Real
go
quick.
ahead.
I thought that Mappa was doing Delicious in Dungeon.
No, this is the Campfire Cooking is the first isekai by
Who the
them.
fuck is doing Delicious in Dungeon?
Not sure, but I'm going to continue on because you keep interrupting me so rudely during my segment.
Yeah.
Servant manga enters its final arc with the 20th volume to be released in spring 2023.
That's
Final
why
Fantasy 14 Academia Eorzea manga starts its final chapter. Go ahead, sir.
Trigger's doing Delicious in Dungeon. It was one of the other. It was one of the big ones.
Yeah.
I was like, isn't Trigger? It wasn't Mappa. It's Trigger. Anyways,
I was like, I
continue.
hadn't even heard Delicious Dungeon, but I knew Campfire Cooking. I think we mentioned it before too, but this is
Yeah, we
more
did.
of just a reminder. But I'm excited. It looks cool. Techno Droid Overmind anime to debut in January 2023. So another list. Add that to the list, baby. Kumiko Psyche's Kageke shoujo manga takes a 1-issue break, which is intriguing. But moving on. This is annoying. Naruto Sasuke's story. Naruto Konoha's story. Spin-off manga
Yeah.
launch in English. I
Yeah,
think
those are
Sasuke's story is already.
They're
I
on
was gonna say
chapter
they're already
2.
out.
They're on chapter
Okay.
2. I think the other one is on chapter 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Go,
I knew
go read
Sasuke's
it
story
on.
was out.
Go read it on the Shonen Jump app, or I think you can read it on Manga Plus.
I believe you're right. Yep, you can do it on either. Hina Changes mangaka launches a new manga titled, and this is in fact the title, Daddy's Sexy Dolls.
Oh.
I'm not, so I don't know if it's a man who has sexy dolls or if it is multiple women dressed up in dolls that are daddies.
I don't know.
Like they are owned by the daddy.
Maybe it's
not sure.
Maybe it's about a sex store. Who knows?
Could be either, but either way, this one's going to be interesting. So keep an eye out for that, I guess. Kaguya-sama Love is War, The First Kiss Never Ends film unveils December 17th with a December 17th opening. Banished from the Heroes Party anime gets a second season. What did you eat yesterday? Mangaka, I did not skip one. Mangaka launches a new manga titled Tamaki and Amane. Kazuhisa Kondo launches Mobile Suit Gundam 0079 episode Luna 2 manga. Yes, that's the title. In November. The Duke of Death and His Maid mangaka launches a new manga. No title yet, I guess. They just have a new manga coming out. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, the Era spin-off manga, has ended. My Daughter Left the Nest Returned, an S-Rank Adventurer novel gets an anime. This one, I'm going to give like a little disclaimer before I read this one and say, if you want to look it up, do so at your own discretion. And I would highly recommend you put it on incognito mode if you can. This is a very, very, very ecchi one. I believe people are speculating that it's going to come out in multiple different modes per se, similar to like the harem and the dungeon labyrinth thing, because it is that level of ecchi. But again, disclaimer: My Life as Inuyasha-san's Dog anime is set to premiere on January 6th. Yes, it is an isekai about a person who gets isekai'd as a dog.
There's
And
like
the
two
dog.
of those like that, but this is just a raunchier version.
Yes. The thing with this one though is that it is, from my understanding, a majority of the anime is from the dog's perspective. So aka lots of panty shots and scenes where women are in very vulnerable states, we'll say. So again,
I've Googled it, and you are not wrong.
hopefully incognito mode. Anyway, a Galaxy Next Door anime is set to debut in April 2023. Toho announces new Godzilla work with director Takashi Yamazaki. Kaguya-sama creator Aka Akasaka retires from drawing manga, but that is to focus their time on writing manga instead. So don't
Which
worry.
we should have seen this coming with the announcement that he was holding auditions for his new manga. Like,
I was gonna say we talked about it before. Our speculation was that it was just to get a new style in, maybe like freshen things up. Maybe it was just to fit a different
yeah,
like theme he was going for. But yeah, we kind of should have put two and two together. But don't worry, Aka Akasaka is still writing, just not drawing anymore.
yeah. Go read Kaguya-sama. It actually just ended. I don't know if it's in here or not.
Yes. I
Okay.
did not put it in here because it was too sad. But yes,
It is.
we mentioned it before too.
Yes, we have. It has ended. I've read it all. It is fantastic. The
Yes.
ending.
So
The ending. The literal last panel is god fucking perfection.
you heard it
Like,
here, folks.
like
God
it is.
fucking perfection.
It is so fucking good. Like, god damn it. Anywho, go read that, and go read Oshinoko.
Yeah, the other one by Aka Akasaka, right?
Yep, it's great. Every chapter, new chapters every Wednesday.
Very nice. New chapters coming out for one that's been off for 5 years. That is Space Battleship Yamato 2199. The manga will resume after 5 whole years. So for those of you who are fans of that series, congrats, it's coming back. Obey Me manga ends next chapter.
No,
I guess it's not really, yeah, I was gonna say, no, we refuse. Emma Toyama launches new manga titled The Witch Maid Knows the Queen's Secret and will resume Vampire Dormitory, the manga, in December. Part 1 of Mortuary the Patriot manga has ended. Kuma 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 Bear Season 2 set to premiere in April 2023. I gotta take a deep breath for this one. I was reincarnated as a seventh prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Light novel gets an anime. Unite Up anime set to debut January 6th. Added to the list.
Yep.
That The Ice Guy and His Cool Female Colleague anime to debut on January 6th. Added to the list. Uma Masuma Pretty Derby anime gets a third season. Malevolent Spirits Garatari anime.
Monogatari.
It's Mono
Oh,
no.
Mononogatari.
Yeah, Mononogatari.
Oh.
Anime to premiere in January. Added to the list. Shonen Jump manga launches 4 new manga over the next 4 weeks. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it's because they fucking killed off like what,
all of them.
2? I guess it was only 2, but still.
Yeah. Haikyuu spin-off manga ends next chapter. Hiro no Uta manga will end on December 6th. Bite Maker manga will end on December 2nd. Crunchyroll has added Sword Art Online Progressive, Laid Back Camp, and Psycho-Pass anime films. So if you're looking out for those, go give them a watch on
I'm
Crunchyroll.
pretty sure they've also added a few more things. So
they
I'll
may
look that
have.
up.
I was gonna say this is the latest news. Were at least these 3. So I believe they were lining up other ones to add to around the same time that Netflix was bringing over some from other sites. So just be on the lookout for those. They are going to be on Crunchyroll now. Golden Kamuy. I can never know how to pronounce this one.
Golden Kamui?
Yeah, Golden Kamuy. Season 4 has delayed the remaining episodes due to the passing of a staff member. So very sad and unfortunate news. But they will be delaying the remainder of Season 4. The Assault Lily League of Gardens Full Bloom manga enters its final battle. And then these last 2 we've talked about. Well, this last one we've talked about a lot, but we finally have confirmation that Hulu will be streaming Tatami Time Machine Blues. And then my most favorite news of all, the one I'm and I'm sure we both are most excited about. The one, the only Butt Detective gets 15 new episodes in April of 2023.
Let's fucking go, baby. Woo.
That's what I like to see. Butt Detective is coming back for some more episodes.
Also, real quick,
fun stuff.
all of the movies coming to Crunchyroll November 17th, King of Thorn, Origin, Spirits of the Past, Psychopaths the movie. November 24th, Sword Art Online, Progressive, Aria of the Starless Night, and the Laid Back Camp movie.
Nice. So it's nice to see that Crunchyroll is adding in more movies. I feel like there's been a lack of, but
yeah,
it's good to see that they're coming over. And we're going to go right into our last story now. That was all the news and announcements. Obviously, I had to finish off on Butt Detective.
Oh, so, yeah, absolutely.
But
100%.
Moving into our final news of the week, Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino receives the Kanagawa Cultural Award. So congratulations to Yoshiyuki Tomina. Received the 71st Annual Cultural Award for his work on the Gundam anime and his influence both in Japan and around the world. The award commemorates people who have made outstanding achievements in the development of arts and culture in the Kanagawa Prefecture. Tomino created and directed the Mobile Suit Gundam anime in 1979. He originally made his debut on the Astro Boy TV anime. I was reading more and more, and I was astounded at all the achievements. Tomino has received a number of awards over the years, including the Person of Cultural Merit Award in 2021, the Tokyo Anime Award Festival's Achievement Award in 2020, the Commissioner of Cultural Affairs Award in 2019, and the Odawara Citizens Merit Award in 2022. Tomino was also appointed an ambassador for his hometown of Odawara in July of 2021 as well. So huge congratulations to Yoshiyuki Tomina for his outstanding work and all the influence he's had as the creator of Gundam. Congrats.
Yeah, there's not much I can add to that. Congrats. I mean, even you heard how much I freaking wet myself over Witch from Mercury. Like, the show's great. Gundam,
yeah.
Like, if you give it a chance.
I heard you wet yourself. I heard your pants go moist. It was very disturbing.
That's not just the water I spilt on myself, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, Gundam's been around for forever, and I feel like this is just like one of those things. It's like it's about time. But at the same time, there have been some like stinker Gundam shows, but it's far and few between. From what I hear, that they're mostly really solid, and it just depends on what type of show you like. There is a Gundam out there for you, and I'm really enjoying this newest one.
Maybe this speaks to my ignorance too, but it's always astounding to think that like a single person created what is known as like the Gundam genre. Right?
Yeah.
Like there is someone who is also touted as being the creator of the genre of isekai too. I don't know their name off the top of my head, but like to think that there
the guy
are
who made
people...
Sword Art Online?
No, I think even before that, I can't remember their name, but there's like one person is sort of crowned as being the father or creator of isekai as a genre. And it's just, to me, it just always baffles me that in today's world, for things related to like art and literature, that there are still those individuals out there that are creating like, not to say like new things. Obviously, everyday art, music, whatever it is, literature, there's new things being created, but like whole genres, whole styles, like having those that are still developing like new entire, I guess, sort of genres is such a cool thing to think about, right? Like the person who created fiction, thousands and thousands of years ago, to think that there's people nowadays where it's like, yeah, I created Gundam, I created isekai. It's like, oh, that's so cool. It's just an interesting thing to think about. So, yes, Yoshiyuki Tomina, we applaud you and thank you for your creative, for all your creativeness, really, and obviously being the father of Gundam. So congratulations, and we look forward to. I guess Frank looks forward to now more Gundam. I still have to get into the genre. So
I'm telling
does
you,
this make you
watch Witch from Mercury? It's great.
I will likely get back. I will likely get into it at Witch. Gundam was never really like my. No, I think with what you've been saying and what I've been seeing online, I probably will.
Yeah,
but Gundam was just never my genre to begin with. I know our
mine.
Our other co-host Jutendo64 That's like one of his favorites, I think, is Gundam.
Per our anniversary like quiz show, and it was just a fucking obscure ass Gundam question.
Every question is either Gundam or anime that took place in the 1940s. Like it was one or the other. So, because that's when he was born. Anyway, we're gonna transition into.
Jesus Christ! Why don't you bury the man?
I mean, I've tried. I've tried. He can tell you. I've gone to Toronto. I've attempted to find him. It's a big city.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to throw him over to Niagara in like one of those big barrels, like old timey style. I feel like that's how he'd want to go.
I'm pretty sure you can still take a barrel ride down Niagara.
I think you can. I think you just get arrested, but you know,
No,
who's
I
going to
think
arrest
you
you
just
if
have
you're?
to sign. You just have to sign a little shit ton of waivers.
Yeah. Well,
Anywho.
good thing I've been practicing and forging his signature. Look out, Drew Tendo's 64.
Anywho,
On to our final bit of the week and how we end every podcast is our manga anime recommendations of the week. You know what, Frankfurter, I'll start with you since I've been hosting this episode so far.
yeah. I really forgot that this was a segment since I didn't prepare this show. So I was literally scrolling down. I was like, oh shit, I gotta do a recommendation. What have I been reading? What have I been doing? What have I been watching? Everything that I've really been reading has already been recommended. Like I've been reading Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, which Volume 4 just came out. That was great.
Yay!
I've been reading, well, I'm about to read Soul Eater. I think I've already recommended Death Game something. I don't know. I forget
Yeah,
what the fuck it's called.
So. Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? There is a manga on Manga Plus that I've been reading. Caught up, new chapter out. I think today. And it's called Marriage Toxin. And there's about 26 chapters out, I think, right now. Yeah, 26 chapters out right now. It's really enjoyable. It's not necessarily a comedy, but it's more action-y. Long of it short, everybody, like, there are specialists, and this one, like, in basically think of, like, the top of your field, but it's all heretical, in which it's like, hey, the story revolves around this guy who's a poison user, and he's the poison specialist, and his family has been poison users, and they know all about poisons, and have immunities to it and such and such. But it's basically this guy who is a complete, not necessarily shut-in, but doesn't really know social cues and is really kind of just shy when it comes to social situations and dating, who has a sister, and basically his sister is gay and is about to marry a girl, but because the older brother doesn't have, a fiance, the family's gonna be like, well, he's a lost cause, so we're gonna force you to marry a guy. And he basically says, nope, I will find a partner, I will get married, I will continue the family line. You go live your happy life with your girlfriend. I will figure this out. And he saves this person from being assassinated by his like client, basically, like, who hired him, and is like, hey, if I save you, you're going to teach me how to date people and get a date and talk to women, etc. And I'm going to save your life. And she's like, deal. Saves the person, and turns out this person is like not I guess technically a cross-dresser. They are a guy who dresses up as a girl, or a guy depending on the situation they're in. And
Okay.
it's just basically about his like journey of being this poison specialist, and also trying to land a date and trying to land a girlfriend so he can marry. It's real. I'm doing it a disservice. It's actually very good. I'm really enjoying it. It's great. The comedy, when it hits, and the action is very, very good. So go enjoy it.
Nice. My recommendation is also on Manga Plus. I already mentioned it earlier, but it is Hokkaido Gals are super adorable. Again, in terms of like the gal gyaru genre, this is one of my favorites. I love the setting. I love the fact that it's in Hokkaido, which is an area of Japan that is not really portrayed a lot, I guess, in manga or anime. So it is fun to see this very unique region where there's a lot of snow, seasons change. Reminds me of where I live in Michigan, which weather can be whatever it wants day to day. Doesn't matter the type of time of year it is. It can snow, it can rain, it could tornado, whatever. So that part of it's cool, but I love the characters. They're a lot of fun. Main character is just as frustrating as you'd imagine of someone who's in a slice of life romantic I style genre, which is has a harem of women that are throwing themselves at him, but for one reason or another can't say yes to them or can't has to wait on someone else's response, and then that person gets flustered by someone else, and yada yada yada, feelings and emotions and blah 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 blah. So yes, there is some very annoying bits to it, but overall, it is a very very enjoyable read. It is a lot of fun. Go give it a read. There's 87 chapters out. The 87th just came out today. It's a lot of fun, and it's
Nice.
getting an anime. So if you're looking for a new one, Hokkaido Gals are super adorable. Should be on your list. But thank you all for joining us this week and dealing with me being the host this time around, as opposed to our normal Frankfurter, who's one last brain cell. I'm giving a play-by-play right now. It is. Oh, yep. It's in fact jumping off, and yes, it did land in the back of his. It's gone. It's dead.
It's in
The
the
Frankfurter's
toilet.
left the building. Yeah. So I appreciate it. But we will be back next week with Frankfurter at the lead with a brand new episode. If you want to keep the fun going, head over to our Twitter where you can find all the links to our social medias, including a link to our Discord, our TikTok, our YouTube, and our Instagram. Go give us some follows on the socials. We really appreciate the engagements. But
And
until next
Drew's
time,
I was gonna
Andrew's
say Andrew. I was gonna say Andrew's paper OnlyFans. That joke
Andrew's
popped into
paper.
my
Yeah.
that joke popped into my
Yes.
mind.
If all you folks out there who are hot and bothered by Markiplier being on OnlyFans, just you wait until Nintendo 64's 2D model gets its flat ass up on OnlyFans, because boy oh boy, are you in for a treat. But until next time, we'll see you then, everyone. Take care.